Welcome to the Milk Bottle e-commerce show, brought to you by Milk Bottle Labs, one of the world's top-rated accredited Shopify e-commerce experts. Founder Keith Matthews interviews e-commerce professionals, app developers and entrepreneurs to share as much digital knowledge and e-commerce tips and tricks as possible. This podcast is kindly supported by our go-to e-commerce tools. Rewind.io, the leading backup solution for Shopify, BigCommerce, Trello, and more. Let's just say it's the cheapest insurance policy you'll ever get for your Shopify store and all your valuable data. Simply go to rewind.io/milk bottle to get your first month for free. We just love Klaviyo, our preferred automated email solution we use in every store build. No wonder it's trusted by over 65,000 ambitious growing brands worldwide. Find out more on klaviyo.com/milk bottle. Looking for easy accounting for e-commerce? Synder can relieve you from manual data entry and automatically generate an accurate P&L report, balance sheet, and inventory management for your business needs. A few clicks and you'll get access to the key metrics to find the hidden streams of income for your business. Use a coupon code EASYBOOKS for up to 40% off. Check out the show notes for further details.
Hey folks, welcome back. Today my guest is Polly Sidoruk. Polly is the Head of Customer Success and Product at Synder. Synder are actually one of our new sponsors, so thank you very much, Polly, for your support. And Synder is an e-commerce accounting software solution which connects all sales channels in one common system. Synder is headquartered in San Francisco, and Polly is on the line. Polly, welcome.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
We recently interviewed the head of customer support for Sufio, which is a Shopify application which improves the invoicing procedure and the view and the look and the feel of invoices for Shopify store users, which is something that a lot of store owners don't really think of. And I think a lot of people run away from invoicing in general and run away from accounting. So I'm really interested to understand exactly what Synder can do and how it can fix things. But before we go there, prior to Synder, what's your background experience?
I was working in the sphere of fintech for 5+ years already. Well, I've started small, going to different directions. So I've worked with customer support and success, and then as a head of customer support, and then as a head of customer success. And now I'm head of customer success. And my way in Synder company was quite from the bottom to the top,
yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really a good thing because it gives a lot of an understanding of who you work with, what these businesses want, because you were speaking to hundreds of business owners, trying to help them, from different perspectives, initially as a customer, as a tech support person, then as a success person, and now doing the product for these people. So that's, for me, it turned out that it's a super beneficial way.
So you fully understand the challenges that customers have. You don't have to jump on a call to understand the frustrations. Yeah. And that's really important because then your view and your experience then can kind of add to the roadmap of the future of the product. Isn't that right?
Exactly. So sometimes I still go undercover to talk to people. Sometimes it's a tech support and then, it gives a lot of insight we have to add this or fix that. So this is kind of a lot of fun.
Everybody does it. And a lot of software companies will put senior staff and directors and members of the board on calls once a quarter or once a month.
Yeah, we used to do this with the whole team. I mean, even our developers, they went to tech support chat and they talk to people because it really gives everyone the, the sense of belonging to this, huge, big thing. So
Yeah, absolutely. I worked in telecoms for years and it was amazing the amount of senior management that would go down to our customer care facility in the west of Ireland, and they would sit for a day and have lunch with the team, listen to calls. And I think it's only when all staff fully understand what the customer wants and what the customer needs, then I think the product then ends up being ultimately better. So,
we found this true for ourselves as well.
Absolutely. So explain to the listeners exactly what Synder is.
Pretty much Synder is now a set of products. Initially, it was one product that covered the pain point of data import from one systems to the other systems, namely from e-commerce or just online sales channels like Shopify or Amazon or Stripe or PayPal to the accounting softwares like QuickBooks or Xero. So this is what we've done initially. And after this, listening to customers' feedback, we've came up with several more products, more something more industry specific, like more for e-commerce, like for inventory tracking and inventory management. So other things were like also like reporting, like basically business insights module. So now it's kind of a set of things, and they all help with back office for, e-commerce and SaaS businesses.
So initially when you started out, you were an integration sitting between the two pieces of software, were you?
Exactly. So we kind of were like a small app on like QuickBooks App Store. So like QuickBooks users, or like on Xero users as well. So we were on Xero App Store as well. So they came in, they installed us, and then they like connected their like Stripe or PayPal or Square or like Amazon or Shopify or like a bunch of different systems. And we were kind of the tool that would, import all of the sales and the fees and different pieces of data to their accounting so that they don't have to do this manually.
So if somebody's selling on Amazon and selling on Shopify and selling on eBay, you guys would go in and pull all the data from each of those sales channels and then aggregate the data, I suppose, push it back into Xero in a proper fashion. Would that be the way to describe it?
Exactly. Yep.
So what sales channel did you focus on first? I'm assuming was it Amazon?
No, actually, we started with more of a SaaS thing. So we were initially PayPal and Stripe integration app. Then we've added Square, and starting to work with Square, we started to hear, here and there, like a feedback of, I have Square POS, like I'm selling online, in Square's shop. So this was part of the ongoing conversation. Then we started to hear more and more from our PayPal users, the guys I have also Shopify store and Amazon store. Then we kind of saw an opportunity there, and we've expanded to Amazon and Shopify. And this was a really good thing for our business because, we started to, help people on a really different level, because if you're a developed e-commerce business, you have indeed Amazon and Shopify and eBay, and maybe WooCommerce or something like this. So you have a bunch of sales channels, and you also have a bunch of payment platforms that are connected to, your PayPal can be connected to Shopify or to WooCommerce or whatever. So kind of you have a bunch of systems, they're all interconnected, your PayPal has just PayPal, sales that you charge someone through PayPal, but also it has sales that went from for example, Shopify. And you need to have a system that will understand that, okay, so this was paid just directly in PayPal, but this one was, paid in PayPal, but it actually originated in Shopify. And Synder is a great thing because it really understands all of this kind of complexity, and it provides this correct data import to the books with no duplicates. So kind of, that's kind of a smart system.
Okay, so Polly, does that require much setup then? Because I think the problem with the world right now is that everybody's become very lazy, and when they add an application to a store, in the Shopify ecosystem, they expect everything to work straight away. So for Synder to work properly, and we'll come back to the benefits of it in terms of the automation. I'll come back to that in 1 second because that's an element that I'm really interested in. Does it take much to set that up, or is that a facility or a service that you guys provide as part of the boarding process?
I wouldn't see this as a problem that everyone became lazy. People just, want everything to be simple. I mean, I want as well.
Well, that's one way. That's one way of describing it. You're being polite. I'm not.
yeah, but I also want many things to be simple. Just go ahead, install the app and it solves all your problems. Yeah. But it's the more complex system of the apps you have, the more complex Synder installation process becomes. However, for the sophisticated stores, we have our own services and our success specialists who will sit with you and will help you to kind of set it up over the call. So it's not a big of a problem. So if you have 2 stores and several payment gateways, that's an easy thing, because for connection, technically you just have to know your credentials to log into your Stripe and Amazon and things. So that's it's really simple. So you can connect everything under 10 minutes, sometimes even under 5 minutes. But then, it takes a bit of a time to just understand that everything flows into your books properly. And we have, the team standing there with in-app chat. So with the online calls and demos that we can help to help you go ahead and make sure everything is set up properly.
Okay, so on this podcast, we're very grateful to another sponsor that we have, which is Klaviyo, which is automated email, which is one of the, I suppose, I wouldn't call it the secret sauce, but it's certainly one of the tools that a lot of people, unfortunately, don't invest in, but actually does add revenue to your Shopify or your BigCommerce store, or whatever platform you're on. So can you explain to the listeners, what a company can achieve by actually automating all of those kind of boring back office processes that you won't see ever once it's set up properly.
Yeah, and your customers, won't even know that those processes exist. Exactly. So, and sometimes it feels like, okay, I have to, focus on like customer acquisition, on, like gaining more customers, more leads to somehow, improve the conversions. And, it totally makes sense. Obviously, increasing conversion helps, raising your sales and your income. So like month to month. But back office is a question of efficiency. So I'm a girl, and like this is like a girl's problem when you open your wardrobe and then you see like, a bunch of clothes in there and you start to, pick, this and that and trying to put it on and see if it works together. So kind of when you spend like, an hour or 2 hours, trying to find, the best look for, for dinner or a party or whatever. But well, you spent 2 hours just now, just, picking clothing. But what if, for example, you had a system there in your wardrobe that would even work on its own, composing good looks for you. So you just open it and you see this look or this look or this look. And you're like, okay, I like this one. So you just put it on and you go. And it's like, how much time would you save? And it's the same with back office processes. Like if you have everything, just working somehow there and you have, you're hiring people to manage it and to make sure everything is in order and to keep track of things. Well, that's definitely one way of doing things, which will be, costing you much more than maybe installing one or two, good apps that will, take the majority of work and they will make sure everything is in order. So they will kind of prepare this, looks for you. So you just, come in and see, okay, this is a good one. I like that one. Or, oh, I don't really like that one. So you're changing a scarf and then, you go ahead and you like the result. So it's the same here. Once you have an app that will, manage your back office process. So everything is in order there. So everything is, really accounted for, looked after. Well, it just saves you time to actually invest, much more time and money to things that will grow your business. So kind of like growing your business, you have like two strategies, either increasing sales or cutting costs. So back office is definitely, cutting costs history when you just, develop everything and set everything up to make sure your costs are, as small as possible.
Yeah. Okay. That makes perfect sense. Just give us 1 second and we'll just pause to listen to our sponsors. Rewind.io is the leading backup solution for your Shopify store. Did you know that there's no way of recovering lost data? If your store is gaining traction, app developers or multiple staff may enter your store, and there's absolutely no way of fixing human error. Rewind.io allows you to rewind your store back to its original state, so you can reduce your business risk immediately with the Rewind app. It's so easy and is the cheapest and best insurance policy you'll ever need for your Shopify store. Get your first month for free by simply replying to your first email from Rewind and mention this podcast. Now, regular listeners will know I love Klaviyo. It's the single biggest revenue generator I've ever seen across hundreds and hundreds of Shopify stores I've been in. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the big brands you admire, but they make it simple, they make it easy, and they make it fast. To get started with a free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/milkbottle. That's klaviyo.com/milkbottle. Polly, in terms of after those automations are set up and when the customer is boarded into Synder, do you have any advice for anybody who's using an accounts package like Synder and they're using it then to assist with their bookkeeping? I'm very conscious that there's a lot of people that fall behind on bookkeeping. So how does Synder assist in not necessarily preventing it, but if somebody does fall behind, how does Synder assist in making sure that it doesn't become that big of a problem?
That's a common story. We have a lot of people come in, for example, in December, at the end of the year and say, okay, guys, hi there. I have like a year of data in my, whatever, in my Shopify, in my Stripe. I didn't really have time to do my bookkeeping, throughout the year or like last, 6 months. Do have something that will help me with this? So initially when we were like designing the product, the synchronization tool, this was a question from day one because, well, we understand that depending on, different circumstances, the size of your business, how many employees you have, you may or may not have time to, really manage your books on a daily or weekly or even monthly basis. So this was a question from day one. So yeah, we really have like an import historical data feature. So technically you just connect all the platforms. Once you've tested and you make sure everything works properly, you just go ahead and, import data for last like 6 months, 12 months, like 2 years. So whatever you need. So yeah, that's definitely something we hear a lot.
I suppose the next obvious question is, what additional benefits then can the proper bookkeeping during the year, how can that add to the business? I'm assuming that it makes end of year much, much easier.
Yeah, end of year and like tax season, definitely, because, well, when I'm saying tax season, even I have, like scary thoughts and like this feeling, oh my gosh, tax filing. Oh,
yeah.
But then I assume, that's like something that everyone has. But surely tax filing gets easier. Surely just, closing the year gets easier. But also understanding your data day to day gives you a lot of freedom and gives you a lot of information for making business decisions, like, data-driven decisions. So, for example, one of the features like of Synder that we've came up, in addition to this synchronization tool, is Synder Insights. So basically, the idea is like when we're connecting all of these platforms and gathering all of these data together to do your books, well, we have all of these data from all of your sales channels. So we may give you like a correct numbers of, what are your new customers versus returning customers ratio? What's your like average order value? What's your, lifetime value of a customer? So things like that. And we're giving these analytics for you. So some businesses would just, prefer their QuickBooks to be this, source of truth and source of all the data. So for example, Synder just puts everything to QuickBooks or to Xero, and then you use like QuickBooks or Xero reports to kind of understand, how your profit and loss looks on a daily basis. So if you have investors who, have to have like monthly updates on how your business is going. So that's exactly where, apps like Synder come into play, so that you have all of this data up to date and you don't have to, sit at the end of the like months and spend 1 or 2 days or a week, for example, like doing these reports. Just automation gives you the freedom of having data, at any moment you need this data. And Synder also provides like various reports to kind of make you understand your business better, and not only the data from, one like sales channel. So for example, I have Shopify, Amazon, and okay, so how do I combine all this to understand how many like returning customers I have? So Synder will, tell you that.
So if somebody is properly using Synder, it becomes a core element of running their business. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So people can just, come in and see how their data looks, and they can, understand, okay, probably this product is not going too well, or, I don't have really big margin for this product. So I actually like losing money selling this product, rather than gaining money. So it's also like a very important, like notion of, margins for e-commerce business. Well, for any business, but like for e-coms is especially challenging because they need to, take into account like cost of goods sold and really do a lot of work to really understand what their margins are. And then understanding their margins, they can, manage their like products listings, saying that, okay, so there's 5 products and I'm not earning selling them. So I probably have to, get rid of them and focus more on like these and these products, because these are really something that, that people want, that people buy. And I really can, make more money on this. So it's not just, raising your business. It's not just gaining more customers. It's also like managing everything inside of your business efficiently. So like if you have unbeneficial products, well, get rid of those probably.
So what you're telling me is it's effectively kind of an accounting automation program, which is obviously a very, very good tool for the accountants in the business, but also you're talking about customer lifetime value and profitability per product. So if it's set up correctly, what it will do is it will supply key KPIs for e-commerce managers and not just for the accountants in the house. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, exactly. So like we've started being just, a synchronization tool, like a small thing that you can install. It just works on the background. You close it and you don't really remember of Synder because, well, it just does everything for you. But then we understood that we're having a power of working with all of this data. So why don't we just, give all of those KPIs and all of those reports to people so that they could really run their business? And we're having like, a lot of educational work of our, content team. So they're kind of providing articles so that you could not only see the KPIs, but also interpret them properly to run your business and make business decisions. So now Synder is like a much broader thing. So if you're having just, issues keeping your books like on a daily or weekly basis, so definitely you can start with just, installing Synder and using it as a, the synchronization thing that just, joins all of the platforms on one side and your accounting on the other side. So it just, makes these data talk to each other. But then, well, you can definitely explore more, and Synder can indeed be like a center of your business activities, or something that you open, in the morning and see, okay, so my KPIs are better or worse today. So, okay, what do I do with that?
Yeah, the way you're explaining it is very logical. So it makes absolute perfect sense. Polly, before we go, what are the features of Synder that you love?
Oh, well.
Don't say the whole product, because that's a bit obvious, Polly. You work for them. You're going to say good things, but is there one or two features that are absolutely stand out that customers are just delighted with?
Well, I would say import of historical data is definitely one of these features, because, well, people are really they're relieved, hearing that, okay, so even if I wasn't really paying attention to my books, I can, keep up with that. Another really, really good feature is the rollback or undo feature. So pretty much, even if Synder kind of imported, 10,000 transactions to your books, and then you realize that, oh my gosh, I probably, did something wrong. So, figures don't look right. You can undo everything in one click, change your settings, and redo data backwards. So it's like a life-saving, like a life vest that will make sure that you do not mess anything up. And people are also really they're confident, going with Synder once they know that, okay, I can undo anything at any time. And this is the freedom we want our customers to have at any point, especially I guess accountants would understand me, because, when you have a client that comes in saying, okay, I have 10,000 of transactions in my books that I've just imported, so probably everything is perfectly now. And then you as an accountant open their books and understand that, okay, that's a complete mess. So, and now somehow you have to delete 10,000 transactions from someone's books. Well, so that's the moment when you go to Synder and you're like, okay, these guys have undo thing. Perfect.
That's good.
So,
that's good.
And business insights definitely would be the third feature that I would, point.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used the product, but the data that it's using, I mean, if you have multiple channels, and you have accountants that are working on trying to understand the profitability of the Shopify channel versus Amazon versus everywhere else. I mean, the data set there that you mentioned, the KPIs that are available to everybody. I mean, if you can measure the profitability of all of those channels and have them in a dashboard or on a screen, it just sounds like an absolutely super tool. And can I just remind listeners as well that we will have a link in the bottom of the podcast episode, and users can get 40% off Synder when they sign up. So Polly, I've really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you very, very much. I didn't think I would ever talk to somebody that was so passionate about accounting and data and joining sales channels. I say that as a joke. I expected you to be passionate about it.
I know accounting doesn't sound, sexy, how people say, accounting is not sexy, definitely. But, well, it can be really, really interesting when you start to look at it, not only from the perspective, okay, I need to somehow reconcile all of this and just forget about it. But when you start looking at it from the perspective of, okay, I have a lot of data. So, and this is the data that reflect how my business is doing. How can I use them to, improve this or that? So, and then accounting, all of a sudden becomes, really fascinating things.
I always find accounting interesting when the numbers are good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, accounting is full of of its good and not really good surprises. So
Absolutely.
I mean, accounting is complex, but well, it gets interesting when you start to understand.
Well, Polly, we're gonna share the link to that discount and also share the link back to Synder in the show notes. And listen, thank you very, very much for your time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you too.
Thanks for listening. All of our episodes are available on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. A special note of appreciation goes to our sponsors, Rewind.io, the leading backup solution for Shopify and BigCommerce store owners. Get your first month free by responding to your welcome email once you sign up for your free trial on Rewind.io. Synder is worth considering for your e-commerce accounting and reporting needs. Use a coupon code EASYBOOKS for up to 40% off. Klaviyo, which helps e-commerce brands easily create personalized, multi-channel marketing campaigns using your most powerful asset, your customer data. To get started with a free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/milkbottle. That's KLAVIYO.com/milkbottle. If you're a Shopify user with an exciting story to tell, reach out to the team on podcast@milkbottlelabs.com. Until next time, take care.